just simply the fact that it's the usual stuff. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So if you get a civilization where the people in power have such amazing technology, then you know that they're going to use it.
But isn't that how it's supposed to be in universe? Contrast, bad and good.
Well, yeah, but there's different technologies. We've got the technology of the machines. I think in ancient times there was other technologies. Just like if you look at how they built the pyramids, they may have used other technologies like sound vibration. And so they have more grosser technologies in this age, in many ways. I know AI doesn't sound like a grosser technology, but it's grosser in some ways. And,
it's
and it
like
has a
next level.
Effect,
yeah.
Whereas they were more subtler in ancient times, I believe.
You've noticed bees and insects and animals, they spend most of the time looking for food and things like that. They get busy like that, and people do this also. When we go to, maybe it's time, if we don't need to do that, we do what we want to do.
Okay. But still have a full fridge.
Have a full fridge, because everybody likes to do something. So if we just swap where we working, everybody is happy doing what they work, and everybody is still working. Nothing is changing.
Well, they used to have that. That was the ancient system.
Used to have that.
That was the ancient system of 4 social orders.
Okay.
We'd have the warriors, people who are big and strong. They like fighting. They would, they like big, strong people, and bullies. A lot of them. Anyway, they had the warriors. They were part of them, and they couldn't just beat up the working class or the mercantile class or the Brahmin class. And then of course you had the people who were very studious, very intellectual, and they were known as the priestly class. And then you had the people who were very productive, they were known as a mercantile class. And then you had the people who never really had any great qualities, they'd get married, have a family, and they were the working class, they were farmers. And so people did have that in ancient times. And they had a tendency, they had a leaning towards a certain vocation, and most of them are reasonably happy in that. But now, the only class we have today is money. That's the only class we have. You can be the most grossest person on planet Earth, but if you have a full bank account, then you're first class. That's how it is, So, I'm sorry about that. It's not the best face you'll ever get on your camera. You're ruining your camera. Will probably stop working. Just
no, reality. The best thing, the best cure is reality.
Reality.
So when we talk like what is going on right now, someone said on YouTube, and it was super interesting. We shouldn't look for politicians, but for leaders.
Well, I think they've got that in America. I think they finally got a leader. He's a man who can lead.
Yeah, man who can.
The others, you never knew who was leading.
Do you think he is responding to someone? Because he seems honest.
No.
He seems straightforward and honest, isn't it?
You never knew who was in charge with Obama, with Clinton. Certainly with Biden, he wasn't in charge. You wouldn't have known who was in charge with Harris. But you know who's in charge with Trump. Nobody's telling Trump what to
Mr.
do.
Trump.
It's all coming out of his head. You know what I mean?
Which is, I think, good thing. Might be dangerous, because he was talking about
we'll probably end up with a third world war and nuclear annihilation. But at least we know who to blame. When it all goes wrong. What you don't become too obsessive though. There was a guy, he's on YouTube, and what he did, he filmed his child growing up. Like 24 hours a day he was filming him, all the way from coming into this world, all the way up to like 18, something like that. 24 hours a day. And then he cut it all up into one video and that lot.
Yeah.
And it never did him any good. He was a nutter, and the child became very distant and strange. And,
isn't it?
Empirical things are great for creating cars and toasters and videos and televisions and so on. But when it comes to actually existence itself, it's limited. It's like no one will ever run the 1 second mile. You can chop little bits off it and make a world record, but you'll never run the 1 second mile. And so what I'm saying is that there are things which are limited.
Yeah.
And empirical, and it's the same on a more subtler level. There's limitations. And to think that, you can explain what existence is simply by empirical science, I think it's cheating.
No. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
because we know that it's limited. And if it's limited, how can you explain the unlimited?
Of course.
It's,
Quite easy logic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not complicated.
They have to write
thinking.
their books. It's like, anybody knows about the stupendous nanotechnology of, say, a bacterial flagellum.
What's that?
A bacterial flagellum is like a machine, like an outboard motor that's on the backside of an E. coli. In your intestines you've got millions of E. coli. And there's some of these E. coli that swim along the intestinal waterways. And on the backside they've got what they call a biological motor. And it's got a propeller that spins round.
So it can direct and go to places.
Yeah, it's got a motor.
Check it
It's
out.
got a fuel line which supplies acid as fuel. It's got a rotor, a stator, and it spins at something like 1,000 revolutions per second.
Really?
That's what's happening at the level of biology, at the level of the cell. Now that's not even the most amazing thing. The most amazing thing is that it can reverse. However, as it's spinning at 1,000 revolutions per second, it only needs a quarter turn to reverse. That is not even in the same dimension. You can't spin at 1,000 revolutions per second and then just go a quarter turn and reverse. You can't do that, but it does it. And they're able to see that.
Quarter turn latency.
They have electron microscopes which they can magnify 30,000 times, and they can see it clear and clear. And you can see this biological outboard motor. And you cannot
Universe
explain
is
those kind of
amazing.
things empirically.
Yeah.
And then if you look at a caterpillar, it comes out of the egg, and all it does is eats,
And sleeps.
eats.
Does
Because
it sleep?
it knows what's going to happen.
Does it
knows
sleep?
it's going into a cocoon.
Yeah.
It's hibernating, basically. Now, once it goes in the cocoon, it more or less dissolves into a molecular soup. If you was to open it up, you just get this green soup. That's all you would get. You go, ooh, what's that? But that green soup then forms into a butterfly with wings, and then it comes out and flies away.
This is miracle.
Yeah, well, hold on a minute. I'm going to work this out on my chart.
So what does it mean? The body can dissolve, but the identity was still there.
Well, what it means, really, what it
DNA
actually means.
and some power to put it back together again, or
Yeah.
to make them do what they know they're supposed to, and everything
It
will.
means there's a finer technology, isn't there? It means
Of
there's a more
course.
subtler technology that's
Then we can-
directing the chemicals. And it's like, we have subtler technologies directing our chemicals. We call it the mind, we call it the intelligence, we call it consciousness.
It's not that there is some higher intelligence beyond us, isn't it? It's good. It's like exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so, all these kind of things. And then even if you talk about a self-replicating cell, I mean, imagine a world where there's no self-replicating cell, and then a self-replicating cell suddenly comes into existence. And without that self-replicating cell, what do you have? You don't have anything. You don't have life. It starts with the self-replicating cell. But how does that come into existence on its own?
Have you noticed science can describe how things work and what is happening, but they can't answer single why?
Yeah. Because
They
it's
can't say why.
metaphysical things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can't get there.
Yeah, it's like if you got a picture, you'd have a beautiful picture, and you think, oh, that's so beautiful, and you buy it, and then you want to know what it is, like a Mona Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
What is the mystery behind this picture? And you take the thing apart, you take the frame apart, you take the back off. You look at all the colours, you take the pigments and you put it on the microscope. You look for it and you can't find the answer to it. But all you've actually got to do is go and ask Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
He'll tell you what the mystery is behind it.
Yeah.
But that's a metaphysical thing.
Exactly.
It's not an empirical thing that you can just take apart.
Brute force, yeah.
Yeah, you can't just take apart and then wrestle it out of nature, because it's a metaphysical reality. But once again, we all believe that You know,
Maybe that's why they can't figure out this quantum mechanics for like 70 years or something.
well, even Niels Bohr says if you say you understand quantum physics, you're a liar. Nobody understands.
So maybe long road in front of the scientists to understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Hey,
mean, the scientists are teaching quantum physics, and they don't even know what quantum physics is.
they can't answer a single why things are happening. You know.
No, they can't. They can't. It's metaphysical. You know, and you cannot. The empirical cannot explain the metaphysical. It can't. So or maybe there's a better way of putting it than that. But how can you explain the mind? How can you explain love? How can you explain consciousness?
No, it needs
How
to
can
be
you explain existence?
needs to be worked out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like when they say that. They say, what is it? The sky, you know, they say because of this, the sky is blue.
So what we're gonna do? Yeah. So
Well,
what
that's how the sky is blue. It's not why the sky is blue. It's just how.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a difference in it. I mean, it's anyway. These things are good.
I think everything will be alright.
Well, the soul's eternal.
This
You can't
Trump,
kill consciousness.
this
so-
Trump, how crazy he is. I think he's like a real as well. At the same
no,
time, you know.
I'm
It's coming from his head, not
Yeah,
from
yeah.
his party leaders.
Yeah, I'm for Trump. Not because he's some angel that's descended or anything like that. I mean, I'm sure he's as bent as a 10 bob note, but on the same hand, he's real. No, I'm sure it is real.
Yeah.
You know, and he's a million times better than
maybe.
the rest.
Yeah.
I mean, the Democratic Party, they belong in a lunatic asylum. You know, you've got Horslaugh Harris, you know, Word Salad Harris, you've got Tampon Tim, you know, you've got Crazy Cortez, you've got the other nut, what is it, Jasmine Crockett. You know, they're all nutters. They're all complete and utter.
Do you think? Do you think they are notters? I think they know exactly what they're doing.
Oh yeah, for the career, for getting the money in. Yeah, in that way, yeah. But to do it, they act like nutters.
exactly, they do it.
Yeah.
For normal people, but guess what? They can relate to masses and they believe them.
Yeah.
For normal people, they act like nutters, but not for everyone. Actually, for not too many people, really.
Yeah.
Those people, like when I ask neighbors, they say, "Oh, I don't understand that." That's it, you know. But they listen what is on the news, you know, in
BBC.
When I came to this country, there was nice science programs like 3:30 in the morning, and I was wondering why they played 3:30 a.m. not like afternoon. So nice programs, you know.
Yeah. BBC. Yeah, I
being
mean,
a slave, isn't it?
we live in a world of duality. A world of duality means that there's near and far, young and old, birth and death, rich and poor, and so on. You'll never get rid of that in the material world. In this
But
material
do we
world,
supposed to?
you'll never get rid of, well, yeah, like you said, but you'll never
No,
get
I
rid
don't
of it.
think we're supposed to.
Right, so you'll never get rid of it within this material world, which means you'll never get rid of good and bad. Because you cannot have them near without far.
Just reach your power.
Oh, well, the people that a lot of people are envious of, you know, they're all going to grow old. They're all going to become diseased. They will all die of cancer. You know, and everybody's got them on their bedroom wall. And the poor guy's somewhere in this world dying of cancer, and the other person's idolising him, thinking, I wish it was him. You know, it's like, you know, some of the things that we're envious of and we idolise are just ridiculous. You know, some people who are billionaires are drug addicts.
That's how the bad side is pushing.
Hey?
You know, like dark side is creating that all, you know, nonsense. But people strike back. There was a backlash, you know, like with this COVID and stuff.
COVID. Did you know that COVID was invented just to get rid of Trump? I'm telling you, it was invented to get rid of Trump.
Really? And they didn't know it's gonna get
Well, it
such a
leaked,
big
didn't it?
effect.
It leaked through the Wuhan laboratory. I mean, that can happen anytime. They still have the Wuhan laboratory now. And they're basically there in, I don't know what it is, bioengineering or chemical warfare or whatever it is. And they're still creating these monstrous things. Now, any second, that can leak from a Wuhan laboratory. Now, if you're like, the most powerful group of people in the world, it's not that difficult to get something like that out of a laboratory. And next thing you know, you got Trump in. We can see what he's doing now. It's completely destroying. He's destroyed the American networks. There's people.
Networks?
Yeah, like what is it? CNN. NBC, ABC.
Oh, it looks to me that they destroyed themselves the way they were conducting.
Because they hate Trump. Over their hatred for Trump, they destroyed themselves.
Yeah. They destroyed themselves.
Colbert, the comedian Colbert.
Colbert.
Yeah, he's been kicked out because his ratings have gone so low. Because he suddenly changed. Well, I don't think he even changed. Right
What about Whoopi Goldberg?
She's another one.
She's another nutter.
Complete nutter. But everybody tolerated her before. But as soon as Trump comes along, she's finished. The View's finished. The View's been taken off the air.
It was?
It's been taken off the air.
Well, piece of propaganda, so why not?
Everybody's basically feeling the Trump effect.
Yeah, and in Europe as well.
Yeah.
Still, Kermach is shaking and, teaching.
And basically,
twitching.
Yeah, so they knew this when he was in power in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So they knew it, and they could see what was going to happen to their little empire. And all of a sudden, what happens? The coronavirus suddenly comes along, finishes everything, finishes Trump, everything, because they all blame Trump. Oh well, you didn't do this and didn't, and all of a sudden, you look at the rhetoric of Trump now. Every week he's saying, "Oh, we got this and we got this, we got this."
But did they really get that? I think they do.
Yeah. But in them days, in 2000, when the coronavirus come, he was just finished.
Yeah.
Took him out.
Yeah. But he learned from the first one not to leave the same
people. Because of that first one.
He organized his whole environment before the...
Even fate took a hand. All of a sudden, Canada comes forward.